All right, we are live. Let's see who else is alive out there tonight. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. It is 10:31, 10:32. I was a little bit late tonight. Apologize for that. Hope everybody's doing well. Once again, happy Michael Myers Monday. If you are new here, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. My name is Matt Arts. I am the editor-in-chief of HalloweenDailyNews.com, and this is our weekly live chat here on the HDN YouTube channel, where we run down any news items about Michael Myers and just open up the discussion with our readers, with our fellow fans, and I'm happy to hear from all you guys in the live chat. Phil says hello. Hello, Phil. Welcome back. Great to see you, man. Thank you for joining us. Thank you all for joining us. And if you're watching this later after the broadcast, thank you for watching then. And please leave us a comment below. So yes, it is Monday, October the 12th, 2020. This is the second Monday of the month. And not a ton of news this week. As it relates to Michael Myers, we're really busy here at HDN headquarters. There's a ton of Halloween news in general, not a lot of Halloween franchise news, but there are a few little items I'm going to talk about that we'll get to, as well as a little bit about HK teaser news that we're going to discuss. But first, it's been tradition to look at a mask at the top of every broadcast. So this week I brought the Boogeyman back out because if you watched last week, I had a bunch. Well, I had the 78 here, and a few weeks ago we had just gotten them back in stock. And if you were watching last week, I said I didn't think our last three were going to last, and they didn't. They're gone. They sold. Same thing with the 2018s. We're completely sold out of them. We do still have a few of both of the alternate versions. We've got the, of course, the Bloody Edition, Halloween 2018, and we've got this guy here. A few of these still in stock. This is Trick or Treat Studios, new for 2020, Michael Myers, The Boogeyman. It is officially licensed from the original Halloween, John Carpenter's 1978 Halloween. And there you see, it is from the end of the movie. You see he's got the stab wound in his neck. And again, just showing this off because I don't know how much longer we're going to have these, but it is the season and we are shipping these as soon as we get the orders in. So if you want to get it in time for the big day, now's the time for sure. And again, you guys can check out this mask. You can see it online on our website at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. But I've said it before, I love the Boogeyman mask because I see William Shatner in that one more than the regular 78. I love the regular 78 as well. But this Boogeyman, the first time I ever saw it, I was just blown away. It really looks like the Kirk mask to me. You guys let me know what you think though. But so again, we've got a few of these left in stock. And that's all for the what we've got in store for tonight's show and tell of what we've got in store. But I did want to bring him out just because as people are finding us and tuning in, it's kind of become a thing to talk about one of our masks, some of our merch. And merch is, of course, there's no shortage of merch headlines for Michael Myers Monday right now. And we talk about it every week, and every week there's more, and it's just going to continue, I think, certainly throughout this month. But there is more. There's even more stuff that I haven't even mentioned here in weeks past that has been unveiled and announced, and a few things that have come for sale just this past week since then. So I'm just going to run down some of those things. One of the new things that we just became aware of is a Hot Topic exclusive Michael Myers bobblehead. But apparently it's not even the head that bobbles, it's his waist. It's like his middle body bobbles, but it's the ghost Michael. It's from the scene after he kills Bob and goes to Linda, and he's wearing the ghost sheet. It's Ghost Sheet Michael is what they call it, and that is brand new for the collectors out there like myself, and it is available exclusively from Hot Topic. I think it's made by Royal Bobble, I believe, and you can get it right now. It's on back order on their website. They're saying that they're not going to be shipping anymore until next month on their website. But if you can get to a physical Hot Topic, there's a good chance you might be able to snag one for yourself. And they are pretty awesome. There haven't been a ton of officially licensed Michael Myers baubles over the years. There have been a few, but this one's pretty great. Again, you don't see his mask at all. He is wearing the sheet. He's standing. He's got Bob's glasses on the outside of the sheet, the holes, and you can see it goes all the way down his legs. He's wearing his coveralls. He's got his boots, and down by his feet there is the phone with the receiver laying off the hook, reminiscent of Linda's death scene, of course. And yeah, it's 8 inches tall, so good size. And yeah, so like I said, at the Hot Topic website, they're on back order right now. It's retailing for 25. Well, they say 35, on sale for 25. I'd say if you're near a Hot Topic, as painful as it might be, venture into it, mask up, venture into it, and let us know if you find one of these Ghost Sheet Michael Myers bobblehead Hot Topic exclusives. Other cool stuff to look out for this week. Fight Rags is just killing it. I know I talk about them every week, but I'm a fan, and they just do great stuff, especially when it comes to this franchise. I mean, they have just so much merch out just this year alone. Just in the last 9 or 10 weeks that we've been doing these live broadcasts. I mean, I mention them every week, but that's literally every week they're announcing new stuff. If you haven't heard, they've got this vintage styled lunchbox and thermos set, officially licensed from 1978 Halloween. They're doing pre-orders starting this Wednesday, which will be the 14th, and yeah, you can see previews of it on their Instagram. They've shown the photos. It's got some beautiful artwork on it. They're $25, but again, if you grew up like I did, using these themed lunch boxes as a kid, and you can remember having, the Incredible Hulk or Spider-Man or whoever it was, like I can, then this is just full of warm nostalgia, and the fact that it's Halloween is if you're a collector, you've already made your plans and made your space on your shelf for it. And then tonight, literally tonight, like just an hour ago or so, Fright Rags made another announcement. Breaking news. Let the Dangertainment begin. That's right. Halloween Resurrection, officially licensed Resurrection merch is dropping from Fright Rags. Yes, Resurrection. Yeah, they debuted a new design by artist Kyle Crawford, and they're dropping the whole line, the whole Resurrection collection. Also, not this Wednesday, Wednesday the 28th. Sorry, not this Wednesday. They are dropping that on Wednesday the 28th, and yeah, that's the pre-orders for the lunchbox that goes into effect in 2 days, and this Wednesday. But the Resurrection collection drops Wednesday, October 28th. But yeah, just tonight they previewed it. It's pretty cool. The shirt they've got, there's Michael as played by Brad Laree in the Resurrection mask. There's a couple cool images of him. There's like a distorted TV screen in a few. It plays up the tech angle, which people forget that in some ways Resurrection was ahead of its time with the whole streaming and everything and that whole aspect. the live streaming inside the Myers house. I mean, that was kind of ahead of its time, but now that's all there is everywhere. Um, so anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. Resurrection getting some love, and yeah, I mean, when's the last time you can remember officially licensed Resurrection T-shirts from a brand like Fright Rags? I say that though from a brand like Fright Rags because there is have been some. I got a Resurrection T-shirt actually, I think at Walmart a few years ago for really affordable, and I wear it all the time. It's just the mask, and it's pretty badass. So there have been merch, and actually my mug, if uh, if you want to be exact about it, it is officially licensed from Resurrection. So there has been Resurrection merch over the years, just not as much as you would think, and again, certainly not a T-shirt from a cool horror artist and a cool horror brand like Fright Rag. So I can't wait to see what the rest of their collection is going to look like later this month. All right. What else we got? Also on the t-shirts, Gutter Garbs. Again, just killing it with the franchise this year. Just recently, they unveiled their Halloween 3 collection. They've got t-shirts and hoodies. They've got, I think my favorite is just really simple, old school black t-shirt with the magic pumpkin from the Silver Shamrock commercial. That's it. No wording or anything. That's probably my favorite of the bunch. If I had to pick, it's super simple, super old school. But if you get it, you'll get it, and if you don't, then it'll just be, a generic jack-o'-lantern shirt. Which who can have enough of those, right? But yeah, they've got a couple. They've got a silver shamrock with the logo, which again is a must-have if you don't have one of those from somewhere along the line. They've got "Welcome to Santa Mira," the town sign, and two posters. Um, one one has the famous mask melting scene, and the other is just kind of a collage of. It's got a bit of that, and it's got Tom Atkins up in the corner wearing the skull mask at the end, and it's also got the three trick-or-treaters down at the bottom because you got to have them on there. And yeah, I think that's all their H3 designs. And then again, just today, just a few hours ago, Gutter Garbs announced more Myers stuff with officially licensed Halloween 2 merch, t-shirts specifically dropping tomorrow at on October 13th, tomorrow, Tuesday. So some new H2 stuff, and the preview image that they put up today is Michael Myers, played by Dick Warlock, outside of Haddonfield Memorial Hospital with the emergency room and the ambulance in the background. I guess that's going to be part of one of the designs in the H2 collection dropping tomorrow. So again, I mean, Fright Rags, Gutter Garbs, killing it on the merch, especially the apparel. And these next two I've talked about again, but I just want to remind you that because they've been really embracing the independent horror art market here, and the first up is Creepy Carves, and I've talked about them before. Creepy Carves design, and he just released two new posters. One is from Halloween 2, and one is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. And you can see them both at creepycarves.com, or just go to Instagram and look for Creepy Carves. He's great. Austin Hinderleiter is the artist, and he designed both of these posters. The one he calls Dr. Myers is it's actually Michael, with the blood tears, and he's holding an X-ray of a skull with a hammer in it, protruding it. So and then up in the corner there's another skull with the needle going into the eye. So and there's flames engulfing the shape throughout the whole thing. And at the bottom it says the doctor will see you now, dot, 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 in the morgue. So that's Dr. Myers. And the other one he calls Mask Melt. And yeah, it's got, again, the melting mask scene. And then down below, you've got a TV that is being watched by somebody else, different person wearing the jack-o'-lantern mask. And then you've got the melting witch mask melting and the skull mask melting on each side. And Dick Warlock, the assassin, and some of Silver Shamrock's assassins are also pictured in there too. Um, it's pretty badass. You need to go to creepycarves.com and check this out. But it says the night he stayed home dot 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 to watch TV. Talking about the poor kid who puts on the mask and his insides melt and turn into creepy crawly critters of the night. So yeah, check out those two posters from Creepy Carves. And then again, our friends at Spookhouse Studios, also they've got a Halloween 78 artist rendition poster coming out that they're releasing this coming week, this coming Friday, October 16th. They are releasing their Halloween 78 poster, which has not been fully revealed yet, but from the little close-ups, the little teaser shots that have been put on Instagram, it looks pretty badass. You'll remember that one up there. I've pointed it out before. It's a Silver Shamrock Halloween 3 inspired poster that from Spookhouse Studios. That one actually done by the artist behind Creepy Carves. So that's the two of them together. So check those guys out, and let us know if you're going to be getting any of those posters for your wall, because they're pretty badass. And then the last just little bit of merch news. I think you guys probably already know this, but I've not mentioned it before, that NECA, and they did post about it on Instagram with a new photo today for what they do for hashtag Monster Monday, which can't hold a candle to hashtag Michael Myers Monday. Come on. We know this, but that's NECA's thing. Their line of Toonie Terrors figures, you've seen they've done, I think, 4 series so far. Michael was in, I believe, the first or second one from Halloween 2. And they are putting out an alternate version of Michael, still from Halloween 2, in the Series 5, which is, last I checked, dated to be released this December. The post today on IG that showed all of the figures for Series 5 mentions 2021, so it might be delayed. But I brought down my the initial one. You guys have probably seen this. If you guys know the super talented artist IB Trav illustrations, he was the first I saw doing these like Scooby-Doo villain style, modern horror villains done as classic Scooby-Doo style. And NECA at a certain point liked the idea and started producing their own figures. So this is the one I got last year, and that's Michael, official from H2. It comes. This is the accessory right there. And so the new one is basically the same figure but different paint job. It's got the blood tears, the blood on the knife. He's got the bullet holes, and it also comes with the skull pumpkin accessory. Only that one, instead of it, it's got more black and white. The skull is more like an actual white skull color than that one, which is black and yellow. So again, that's just one from my personal collection. I love those Toonie Terrors, and they're pretty affordable. They're online, of course, everywhere, but you can find them at Target. I think that's where I ended up getting that guy from. And other ones in the new collection include the Creep from Creep Show, Ghostface, and Ash from Evil Dead. I think it might specifically be an Evil Dead 2 Ash, though I'm not positive, but I think so. All right, so how's everybody doing tonight? Um, let's see. Galen Burke says, I want a Michael Myers bog. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I'd like to see that. I'm sure it's out there. I'm sure somebody has one or somebody is selling one. I mean, come on. Who's got the Michael Myers bong out there? I'm sure it exists somewhere. It's got to, right? I'd love to see that. Phil, back in the house. Thanks for being here, guys. And again, if you're watching for the first time, thank you for tuning in, for joining us. Excuse me. All right, so there is something else that we need to talk about this week, and it's the fact, it revolves around the fact that this week, as you know, is in an alternate world where COVID never happened. This would be the week that Halloween Kills would be opening, and it's easy to forget that because so much has happened even since the delay. But yeah, this Thursday is October 15th. That is exactly 1 year until the new release date, and it would have been, I guess, preview night had everything gone as planned originally, when many of us would be seeing it. So of course we're looking ahead to next year. Also, we're looking back at Halloween 2018 a lot. Next week especially, I'm going to be talking mainly about Halloween 2018 because it's October 19th, and that's going to be the 2-year anniversary of that film. But we've been talking on here every week. Anticipation is high. Is there going to be a teaser or something, some kind of uh, something, some kind of treat regarding Halloween Kills released this month? And I've said over and over that I feel like maybe probably a 30-second teaser similar to something, the Let It Burn spot that they released with the with pushing it back a year when they announced that. Well, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, and nothing is set, of course, but we should not get our hopes too much up, I don't think. I still am hopeful in thinking that something could definitely happen, but basically, if you guys follow Ryan Freeman's Instagram account, if you don't know, Ryan Freeman is an executive producer on the new films, and he's also senior vice president of Trancas and Compass. So he works with Malik. He is so on his Instagram account, just a few days ago, he posted that he was doing press regarding the Halloween 78 re-release into drive-ins that's going on right now. And in the comments, he was asked if we would be getting a Halloween Kills, any treats Halloween related this year. Was the initial question. I'll read it to you because so a fan asked, so are we getting some Halloween goodies this year? And Ryan responded, something fun is coming soon. We have not sat idly by during quarantine. Some may take a little longer to announce, but some very soon. And he follows that with an exclamation point. Now, that was 3 days ago. I saw that. I got really excited. But a day later, there's a follow up, and somebody smartly looks for clarification. Are you referring to H Kills? And Ryan very thankfully, thoughtfully, actually responded and said, sorry, no. That same person, I guess, also asked, Halloween Kills teaser this month by any chance? If you don't mind me asking, LOL. And Ryan responded again with the same, sorry, no. Now, there's a little bit to unpack here before, throwing too much of a fit. First of all, things could change, and you know, but let's assume he's being honest here, because why not? Um, and there's no, a teaser could be defined a lot of ways. I've been saying maybe we get a little 30-second thing, not necessarily a teaser trailer per se, just a small tease of a teaser. I don't know what the correct terminology of it is, but something small, similar to. And if we take this as exactly what's being said, to get super like geeked out on all this, and analyzing, um yeah, he's saying not a teaser, but that still leaves a lot of other things open. Maybe a poster, maybe a track from John Carpenter's soundtrack, like I've mentioned before. How cool would that be? Maybe just a new image, maybe a good look at the mask. So again, as we move forward into the next few weeks, yeah, I am still extremely hopeful, and I would be honestly still surprised if there's not some kind of tie-in, some kind of something for the fans released. I think on October 31st, just because they released something on Halloween last year, but it could be this week on the 15th. It could be at any point, but it could be nothing too. This could be a harbinger of set your expectations accordingly. But let's be thankful if we get anything. But then the next thing that we have to think about, because this is Michael Myers Monday, it's not just Halloween Kills Monday, it's not just how, what is he talking about then? Let's think about that for just a second. Okay? Let's assume, okay, but he does say clearly on Instagram, that something fun is coming soon. We have not sat idly by during quarantine. Some may take a little longer to announce, some very soon. So something's coming soon. So let's assume it has nothing to do with Halloween Kills, the film, directly. Well, what else does Trancas and Compass in control of? I mean, there's Halloween 78, of course. That's currently playing with Halloween 4 and 5, which they also own. That's in re-release right now. All three of them play, And then there's, of course, the new films, 2018 Kills, and going forward, Halloween Ends. So again, my mind starts going. You guys tell me what you think. What else might he be referring to? What could it be? What other kind of cool stuff? Now, for the down the road, yeah, I could see, tie-ins, cool tie-ins to Halloween Kills that are going to be announced 6 months from now, 9 months from now, even way down the road. Maybe a few over the winter at like some of the, if Comic-Cons, virtual Comic-Cons, whatever it might be this year, if they're happening, as far as March tie-ins, and that could be it. But I do love hearing we have not sat idly by during quarantine. Now, I mean, he mentioned Halloween. The post is about doing press for this drive-in re-release. I mean, it could be anything, but that's clearly by we, he's talking about Trancas, he's talking about Compass, he's talking about he and Malik, presumably. and and he's talking about the Halloween franchise. And so what are they talking about? I don't know. At this point, it's speculation. At this point, it's just me, reading a couple comments on Instagram. Um, I'll probably reach out to him at a certain point. Right now, we're all there's a lot going on, and in just in the world in general right now. And uh, but you guys let me know what you're thinking, because it definitely got my curiosity going. And again, I don't take it as we're definitely not going to get something regarding Halloween Kills between now and October 31st. I still think we will. I'm still thinking, if I was a betting man, I would bet that it's going to be something similar to maybe a hybrid. Remember when they wrapped filming and they released last year, and they released the behind the scenes montage and said, "See you next year." I think it'll be a cross between that and the Let It Burn uh, tease of a teaser that they've already released. Maybe a little bit behind the scenes, maybe a little bit of interview footage with Jamie Lee Curtis talking about how this is going to blow people away. John Carpenter talking about how this is going to blow people away with the kill count, and some quick cut seconds that we haven't seen before, that will all freeze frame and and dissect for the next few months until they give us something else. I don't know. Again, it could be nothing. Um, I definitely think we all, need to take that his sorry no as, you know, uh, don't completely write everything up, but don't be surprised if nothing even happens, because at this point, um, in which case, be thankful for all these other guys that are keeping, Michael alive in this season. Um, but from the marketing standpoint, you got to look at it of Universal has ultimately the final say in the marketing of that film. So are they going to ultimately say, we got so much blowback and pissed so many people off with the delay, we don't even want to draw attention to ourselves right now this Halloween season, and just kind of start fresh in 6 months when it's a different world, hypothetically, and very realistically it could be, as fast as things change in this world right now. So could they be thinking that? I don't know. I mean, I have said all along on these Michael Myers Monday programs that my feeling is that it's the perfect time. It's the natural time. They're going to want to cash in on the holiday, on the hype, on Michael airing on Fear Fest, and just on people's personal rotations for the next 3 weeks. That it only makes sense uh, to drop something and to do that for the fans. But we could be wrong. I could certainly be wrong. Um, it happens all the time. So let's see. Phil says, I can't wait for Halloween Kills. Let it burn. Let it burn. Let it burn. Yeah. I love that little package that they released, and I'd like to see something similar to that. But again, maybe it's not that. And then assuming that Ryan Freeman's saying that there is something cool coming soon, and by that I would think this month is the soon part, and the part that he's talking about down the road. Maybe it's all got to do with Halloween '78. Maybe it's all, you know. Uh, but wouldn't it be cool? How about a Halloween video game? A lot of people have talked about that. I think we've talked about it on here a few weeks ago. How about a new Halloween comic book? How cool would that be? A new series, maybe even like a Halloween 2018 prequel comic that they're going to release next year leading up to, maybe. Uh, Again, he was doing press and promoting what they have going on right now this season, which is the re-release of Halloween '78 with H4 and H5 at drive-ins mostly. So could it be something like that, like a drive-in, an expanded run of those films? Maybe a run of 78 and 2018. Now that'd be the double bill now that you want to see right before Halloween Kills. You want to see that double bill. So we'll have to wait and see, and we'll have to look at, you know, how it all pans out. But you guys let me know. Have you gone to see the drive-in? I went to see 78 a few years ago during one of the re-releases on the big screen, and it was amazing. And I've seen it at an outdoor theater before on the big screen. I've seen it a few times on a big screen, but never at a drive-in. So you guys let me know if you're going to go see it in the drive-in, and if so, if H4 and H5 as well. Let's see. What's up, Kalian Lagrono? Kalian, I hope I'm saying that right. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. New to the community, definitely enjoy the talk about HK. Awesome. Yeah, we can't get enough. What you think the flashback scenes happen between Tommy and Michael? Yeah. You guys, what do you guys think with the flashback scenes? Certainly, we could speculate all day long. We know for sure they were filmed. You know, we know from the looks of the photos and the stills and the video that has come out of the set. Lonnie, it looks like young Lonnie has a run in with Michael. And yeah, so that's a good question. That's a good question about what happens. Is it going to have more of Tommy and Michael? Because the last we see in the film, Tommy and Lindsay go running out the house, and Michael, after getting shot, falls off the balcony and presumably gets up and goes somewhere. So yeah, does he have a run in with Tommy then, with Lonnie, with both of them? What happens next? Um, I've got ideas and some theories. Um, I wonder how much time they're going to spend in 78, and when in the film is the flashback even going to happen? I'm curious about. Uh, maybe it's a thing where the film opens with the flashback and then jolts us back into present day. Probably almost at that moment of the Let It Burn, that frantic moment that we saw in that clip. I don't know. Then again, it could be if the flashback involves Lori, maybe it's she's unconscious and it's kind of a go into her unconscious type thing. But yeah, I definitely can't wait to see Tommy and how that character is brought back and utilized in this film. I think I've talked about it before. I think Anthony Michael Hall is going to do great, and I'm excited to see really what they do with the character. I love Brian Andrews as in the original film, and I love that character, and I love Paul Rudd as that character in Halloween 6. I talked about before how much I think both their performances are just so perfect for those films. And I hope and have every expectation that Anthony Michael Hall will keep that tradition alive, and Tommy is going to be a force to be reckoned with in this film. I hope. I think, and from what we've seen, just the intensity of those stills and those few seconds that we've seen Anthony in character, that makes me feel like they're going to do right by Tommy in this. And Kyle Richards back as Lindsay Wallace. I mean, there's been a lot of talk how much screen time these legacy characters are going to have. I don't imagine most of them are, I think I've said before, I don't imagine most of them are going to have a lot of screen time, with the exception maybe of Tommy. I do think, and, but yeah, I'm hoping that Lindsay, I want her to say the line, one of my favorite Lindsay Wallace lines in the original is,
When Tommy's just so nobody believes me. I believe you, Tommy. I kind of hope that like there's drama going on, and then all of a sudden you hear Kyle Richards' voice say, "I believe you, Tommy," and they all stop and turn, and there's Lindsay Wallace, the original Lindsay Wallace, Kyle Richards back again, playing the role that she originated. Um, that's just my idea. That's just my hope, but that would be awesome because I always love that line, and as we've talked about on here before, how Michael Myers is the shape and a force, and it's really Tommy and Loomis who recognize that. And then at that point, I always feel like, well, maybe Lindsay does too. And Lindsay is the horror movie fan of the bunch. Remember, she just wants to hang out and watch her horror movies on Halloween night. Doesn't care about the trick or treating. Apparently, doesn't care about anything else. Doesn't care about the pumpkins or even really the boogeyman. But she wants to watch the horror movies. So let's see. Kalian says, I hope we don't see Michael getting arrested by the sheriff. Don't want them to explain too much. Want Michael to act like the shape and not make him look weak at all. Hopefully, Michael takes control. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point, actually, about not wanting to see him arrested by the sheriff. I kind of agree. I mean, I think of the scene, I think of the end of Halloween 5. One of my least favorite moments of that film is seeing Michael Myers incarcerated at the end. Um, that's almost more inexplicable than what happens next with the man in black showing up. So, yeah, I would kind of agree. If it's up to me, I'd rather not see him be arrested. Um, I think in 2018, they talk about Hawkins talks about being part of the force, the team that was hunting Michael that night 40 years ago, and David Gordon Green hinted that we might not have seen the last of the character of Hawkins. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we see a younger version of Hawkins um, as the one that gets Michael, as to whether he apprehends him, as maybe he shoots him. How cool would that be? And maybe he shoots him, and he thinks he's dead, but he's not. I think Hawkins, if I remember right, you guys can correct me. I think he says something similar um, to that effect. He is like the first one there, and he kind of regrets not killing him when he had the chance. So I wouldn't be surprised, I guess is what I'm saying, is if we see some of that he talked about in the 2018 film play out in the flashback. But I agree, to see Michael apprehended, arrested. Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna go down. And again, they're already messing with the ultimate ending. I've said it before, but I think that ending of the 78 film is so perfect, probably more perfect than any other horror movie ending, in my opinion. And so they're changing that, or at least saying, here's what happened 5 minutes later. Of course, Halloween 2 takes place 5 minutes later too, the original Halloween 2, and I love that. And I loved how, it picked up right after, and Michael was just walking a few houses over. And so if they can pull it off with the same magic of the original Halloween 2, because that is one of the things I always loved about that sequel, and that I probably would still rank that sequel uh, right up there, right after the first one, because it does take place the same night, and it, even though it's got a slightly dirtier, angrier tone, you just kind of get the feeling that that's Michael at that stage in the night, at that point in the night. So yeah, so if they can maintain that feeling, which I do think they're going to be able to, you've got so many of the same people that worked on the 2018 film. They're back. They're making this new one, but they've made the new one, and of course having Carpenter's doing the score. Uh, so, but I'm interested too. I'm very interested to see how much they did in the flashback, exactly what they did in the flashback. Um, yeah, I don't really want to see them rewrite history too much. Uh, which I know I understand what I'm saying, dealing with a franchise that has literally rewritten their entire canon now for at least the third or fourth time. Um, but yeah, I'd rather them keep what's there in place. But all that being said, I love the 2018 film. I really do. I think it's one of the best sequels that has come along. Uh, so I'm super excited, and everything that I have heard, and the few things that I do know that I can't talk about HK, which isn't a lot, uh, but everything that I've heard and just knowing what most of you guys know, what's out there, what's public knowledge about it at this point, yeah, um, I have very high hopes, and I think it's going to deliver very much in a way that the original Halloween 2 delivered after the original Halloween, which will be a more violent, more graphic uh, depiction of the same night going forward. Phil also liked the 2018 movie. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. I mean, as I've said, I love all the films, and I could also nitpick things about all the films, but I really enjoyed the 2018 film and thought for the most part they really did a great job with it. Let's see. Thoughts about Danielle Harris? Um, hey, I mean, I love Danielle, uh, and I love her passion and wanting to be back in the sequel. But to have her play a primary role in the film, I do understand that that would probably, from the marketing standpoint of Universal and all that, and whereas for some of us fans, it was really cool. Like I still can't even believe that Rob Zombie. Sometimes I find it hard to believe that Rob Zombie was able to cast her in a whole other role. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great way to bring somebody so important to the franchise back in a whole other way, and I thought that was great. And a few years ago, she was at Mad Monster Party in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we were there. And she was asked at a Q&A a little bit about this, and she didn't have a clear answer either, but they did not approach her, and she did make it known that she wanted to be involved. Uh, and I had even heard at one point that an early version of the script for 2018, Karen was actually named Jamie at a certain stage. And I'm not 100% sure if that's true or not, but I am glad that they changed that, because I think that would have been even more confusing uh, for hardcore fans as well as casual fans. Um, but I mean, my thought is at this stage, you can give some of these franchise people just a cameo, just a like. I loved how they had PJ Souls' voice do the teacher in the 2018 film, and I thought that was a great cameo, and I'd love to see more stuff like that. Um, I've had this great idea that they should have Michael Myers, bump in to a bunch of guys at a bar on Halloween night one night, and it's all the guys that have played Michael Myers from all the other films, and they're all just hanging out as these old buddies in a bar, and that should be a scene, and it'd be a great way to just have all of the former Michaels in there at once. George Wilbur, Don Shanks, Dick Warlock, Tyler Mane, all those guys, Nick Castle, of course, and how cool would that be? And just for the fans, for everybody else, it would just be a quick little, 5-second scene, but for the fans, it'd be something awesome. So when it comes to Danielle in the new films, yeah, I mean, I think, you know, it'd be cool to have her in some kind of cool cameo as a fan of hers and of the franchise. But looking at it as Universal marketing team, I do understand where they're just going to say, you know what, she is. It's just going to confuse general audiences, as if they're not going to be confused enough that, oh, Jamie Lee Curtis is back, and now it's 40 years later, and we're doing the same thing we did 20 years later, but not exactly. So, again, I mean, where it draws the line, but I have talked about on here how I embrace the fact that this franchise goes where nobody else goes, and makes their own rules and then breaks them, and does basically whatever they want to do with this franchise. And when they say we're gonna start over and do a requel, then that's what they're gonna do. And now you're seeing other, it looks like Scream might be doing a similar thing, and Saw might be doing a similar thing, and you're seeing more and more like that. So top three Halloween movies. H1, H2, H18, to be completely honest. Yeah. I mean, my rankings, again, it's tough when it gets into the rankings, but honestly, for me, I mean, top three is pretty easy as far as what they are, because number one is definitely H1, 78. That's, let's get that out the way. It's miles above the rest, in my opinion. Um, but the next two, the only question is every now and then they kind of flop sides for me. But for me, it's H2 and H3. Uh, and not to get into a whole ranking thing and all that, but it's a lot of what I was just talking about a minute ago with H2 for me, is that it picks up that same night. I have memories being a kid after trick-or-treating and coming back and being a young kid and on TV, Halloween's playing. It would end with this crazy ending, which is the best part, when Michael sits up and and then immediately the sequel would start, like without even a commercial break. The sequel would start, and it was the same night, and just minutes later, and a little bit of a remix of it. So if I gotta pick one, it's usually H2. Of course, every year I watch Season of the Witch, and I'm like, this is a perfect movie on its own, and you know I just love that movie too. So for me, it'd be H1, H2, H3. Um, and but don't ask me the rest tonight, because I'm not going to commit to a larger ranking, at least not tonight. Maybe at some future Monday. But yeah, those have always been, and they just have you know they still have the most Carpenter involvement, I feel like. And Season of a Witch is just such its own thing. I know this is Michael Myers Monday, and that's the one without Myers, but I do love some Season of the Witch, as you can see up there on that poster, and up there on that one, and but there's the shape there, so he's represented as well. But yeah, you guys, the rest of you guys, let me know, what are your top three? As long as we're on the subject, right? We might as well all go there. I mean, like I said, once it gets beyond there, it starts getting a little bit harder. But those original three. But I do really love 2018. It would rank higher than I think a lot of people might think from me. Um, but I love that film. I saw it in theater 3 times, and the first time I just had a huge smile on my face the whole time. Uh, it just felt nostalgic and new at the same time, if that's possible. But that's the way it felt to me, and it felt right. It's definitely fast paced when you compare it to the certainly the original, and I'd say really to any of the other ones. It's super fast paced. That's the most modern thing about it, probably. But it is what it is. It's Halloween done 2018, done 40 years later. And those guys David Gordon Green and Danny McBride and all of them, they said throughout that at any point they said they asked themselves, what would Carpenter do? And so taking them at their word again, maybe they're just saying that, but if they really do, I think they made some good decisions there. Um, but yeah, I think this time they're going to take the feedback and what everybody loved and maybe didn't love about the 2018, and they're just going to amp it all up. And I don't expect them to reinvent the wheel, reinvent the franchise again. They've already done that. They're going to keep in this universe, but but yeah, I'm totally excited and looking forward to what they're going to do. And I do hope we get a teaser this month. I don't, again, we talked about it earlier. If it doesn't happen, that just means that it's going to happen somewhere down the road. But I would be surprised. And then the next thing we're going to have to look forward to, I was going to mention this too, is news wise, as far as the film, is going to be the actual start of production of Halloween Ends, which I anticipate is going to be happening January, February, probably around the same time of year that they filmed 2018. So we'll have that coming up soon after Halloween this year. But the rest of you guys, that's my top three. Kalian, I hope I'm saying that right, has revealed theirs. You guys, let me know. Let me hear what your top three in the franchise are. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Hope you're all doing good tonight. Wow, been on here already almost an hour. Can't believe it. Every week I'm like, this is going to be like a quick 20-minute, 30-minute thing, and then it becomes an hour. Can't wait till Halloween Kills and Ends comes to us in theaters. Yeah, it'll be coming. It'll be happening soon. Well, a year from now. But yeah, it'll be here before we know it. I mean, this past year, as crazy as it's been, has certainly flown by for me. I can't even believe it. Yeah, yeah. You want to see it in the theater and share that excitement with an audience. I agree. And that's why, as much as it sucks not having it this year, I mean, a large part of me, of course, I was bummed. I mean, I am bummed and disappointed that we're not going to see it this year. But I was also very relieved, too, that I don't have to, you know, compromise myself and my safety and my family and just worry about the things that we're worrying about right now while trying to go and have that communal experience of seeing it with an audience, which is the best way. And these movies especially you want to see with an audience. Totally. All right, guys. Oh, speaking of Danielle Harris, I was going to mention, we were talking about her earlier. If you guys are fans of Danielle Harris, you want to check out her website. She just put out a bunch of new photos, autographed photos that she sells online at danielleharris.com. And I mention it on Michael Myers Monday because there are photos, recently taken photos of her as an adult, but a lot of them feature Michael Myers in the background and used in different creative ways. And they're all very horror themed and kind of pay homage to her, especially her Halloween legacy in this franchise. So if you're a fan of Danielle Harris, you want to definitely check that out. Again, more merch. Never been a better time to be a fan of this franchise. If you're looking at the merch, again, is with the HK delay. But next week, like I said, it's October 19th. That's 2 years to the day since the release of 2018. So we definitely want to talk a lot about 2018 next week. And if you love 2018, like I love 2018, definitely come back next week and let's concentrate on that. Of course, I'll run down the week's news, and who knows, maybe maybe there'll be some HK news between now and then. But because again, Ryan Freeman, something is coming soon, which to me means this month. Whether or not it's got anything to do with Halloween Kills, that's another story, it seems. But whatever it's going to be, we're going to be here to dissect it and discuss it, and experience it with you guys. That the VOD on Halloween stops trending because that makes no sense for Universal. Blumhouse drop it one night. Yeah, I don't see that happening. Yeah, the VOD on one night, like on Halloween night, just one night only to do that. Yeah, I don't think you're right about it getting pirated for that reason, but I just don't think, again, from a marketing standpoint, Universal and Blumhouse, yeah, I mean they made the call, and they made it a few months ago, and when they made that call, that is what it is. I think maybe what Ryan Freeman's talking about is maybe again we get some other kind of treat other than the Halloween Kills specifically, which again, other than all this merch, I don't know what it could be. I guess the one thing that jumps out at me is those deleted scenes from 2018, the alternate ending. Even the original cut, which I don't think they would call a director's cut necessarily in this case or a producer's cut, but it could just be an alternate cut. Uh, I don't think they'll release that alternate cut right now. Maybe they'll release a special edition of 2018, maybe over the winter, maybe next summer, uh, maybe in time for Christmas. Again, this is all just speculation of what the soon to be announced surprise might be, but I think it's going to be something, and something to look forward to either way. The one they can't talk about yet is probably something to do with HK next year, I would imagine. Some kind of tie-in, Halloween Horror Nights maybe or something. I don't know. All right, guys. Well, I've been yapping here for over an hour again tonight. Man, this has been fun though. And yeah, we are almost to Halloween itself. I can't believe it. So we're going to be back here next Monday, and and who knows, if something big happens, I'll jump on here. We might do another live between then if something big happens. Uh, but yeah, we're going to be trying out some new formats here in the near future. Uh, Using a different camera, a different computer, and such. Ways that we can integrate Zoom, maybe bring in a guest now and then as we move forward. So lots of exciting things, and it won't stop in 2 weeks when October's over, of course, because this is Michael Myers Monday, and Halloween Daily News. This is every day, this is every week. So, this won't stop. And even if I can't be here live every single Monday, looking at ways that we could do maybe even pre-recorded segments on the weeks that we can't be live. But for now, for the foreseeable future, we're going to keep this going like this because I look forward to it every week. And I look forward to connecting with you guys and having these discussions. And hopefully I didn't bore you too much with all my yapping and love for a fictional serial killer. So, all right, guys. My name is Matt Arts. I'm with Halloween Daily News. Thank you again for watching. I'll put links down below to some of the stuff that we discussed, some of the merch items. And as always, you can learn more about all the big stories that I've talked about tonight at HalloweenDailyNews.com. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Thank you all for watching. I'm Matt Arts, Halloween Daily News. You guys have a good week. Thank you.